Alright guys, so we've got something pretty cool to show you. This is the 10-minute lap time track. Yes, 10 minutes on average. Probably somebody can do under 10 minutes, but I would say your average player probably is around the 10-minute lap time. And that's about where we were. Now, I have played this track before. This is a different version. He has like 4 different versions of this track, and this would be the final one. So it's a bit better than the first time I played it, but yeah, just to spoil it, no, we do not get under 10 minutes. Now, it is my best lap ever on the track, but I couldn't quite get under that 10-minute mark. I'll show you some places we definitely could improve, and I for sure could see myself turning a sub 10-minute lap time, but not for this run. I didn't have a ton of time to put towards it. Usually I have kind of unlimited time when I decide to record, but for this one I didn't, so I only had about a half an hour maybe on the track, and it's so long. You know, when you get these really, really big tracks, I wouldn't say you lose your concentration or focus. I don't, but it's just, there's so much that you want to try and not mess up on. And when the track is really long, you know, there's multiple sections that you get to, and when I'm playing, it's like, oh no, this is the part where I mess up. There's a bunch of those sections that make it really easy to not get that perfect lap in, right? And this track is oddly difficult because MX Warlord, it is called Arm Pump by MX Warlord, if I didn't mention that. But this track, what makes it really difficult is that, yes, he makes really big jumps and really big tracks in their full sends, but most of these jumps, the way I had my bike set up, were not full sends completely. You had to scrub a bit, let off the throttle a tiny bit, or whatever. Or sometimes I'd throw a whip glitch in and it was too much, and it just, you overjump, and when the jumps are this big, you're going this fast, you crash, right? Now, this rhythm section is probably the toughest part on the first 5 minutes, okay? So the first half of the track, this was probably the toughest. I did not know what I wanted to do here. There are a few different ways you can go about hitting that rhythm section, but none of them really worked out that great for me. So that was kind of the best way I could get through it. Up to this point, I felt pretty good. I felt like we were doing okay. It was fine. And I don't think I have any crashes, but I do have a bunch of spots where I got hung up. You know, the first half of the track is motocross style. I mean, yeah, I know, motocross style. It's really big and fantasy, but motocross style, fast-paced, big jumps. And then the second half of the track, it turns into more of a slower, tighter-paced Supercross style. So it's almost as if it has its 2 tracks merged together to make one. But it does have a nice flow. It does have a good transition to that point and whatever. But yeah, again, up to this point, I felt like we were doing pretty good. And for the most part, the Supercross side of the track, we do pretty good too. We do mess up at the end. I do feel like that's probably where we missed out on the few seconds we needed to break that sub 10-minute lap time. I really wanted it. I really did, guys. I really, really wanted it, but it didn't happen today. I needed probably to change my setup, but I kind of loaded into the track, and again, I didn't have much time, so I just stayed with the setup I had and whatever. Now, I did want to do a live commentary. I really did want to do a live commentary on this. I even tried to, but I just was messing up so bad. Again, I didn't have much time, and there are a few resets where it spawns you on the side of a jump, or like, so for instance, right here, we should have crashed, but it'll spawn you on the side of this table, and it's so steep, it puts you in an infinite loop of crashing, resetting, and it was just getting so frustrating that I gave up on it. Decided just to keep working until we got a halfway decent lap, and this was my best lap ever, by far. I do know that my previous best time was like 10 minutes and 50 seconds. I mean, it was almost 11-minute track, and from a player of my caliber, but we did much better here, much better. But yeah, I wanted it to be a live commentary. I thought it'd be more fun. We do get a bit of a case here, and we are getting very, very close to the Supercross track. So when I know we hit the Supercross track is when we have this weird jump that just kind of, I don't know, this is a weird jump. It's a really weird jump. And then we turn, and we have this nice big section of whoops to transition us to the Supercross side. Now, the track is pretty old. It has been around for a while. If you guys have played the track, or if you do have a lap time that is better than 10 minutes, please let me know in the comments. I'd be really curious to see. This is on PC. This is MX versus ATV Reflex. If I haven't said, or if you don't know, this is one of, if not the best motocross games ever made, in my opinion. Yes, people might argue MX Simulator, MX Bikes, but in my opinion, Reflex is the pinnacle of dirt bike games, and it's my favorite one to play. So, awesome stuff. But the Supercross track here, it is tighter. There are some really big sends, but not as big as the motocross side of the track, obviously. But there's this whole part of the track where there's these back-to-back rhythm sections. They're all kind of the same. You hit this like step off or step down, triple, a table or whatever, and then some kind of a step up into a corner, turn a 180, do it again. Now, it doesn't do that the entire time, but there is quite a few spots on the track where it is this way. And then it kind of opens up a bit. You have this, well, we're coming up to it. You have a big step up jump. And then, like I said, it opens up. It kind of bobs and weaves in a different way. And then kind of comes back around and whatever. But I mean, we were getting to the 6-minute mark. By the time we hit the 7-minute mark, I was thinking there's no way. This must be a really bad lap. I must have, I don't know, done something wrong to not be at that point. You know, when you try to beat your lap time, I feel like most players probably have a mark. You know, hit your marks. That's what they say. They say it in real life. Supercross, motocross, hit your marks. And this is the part I was talking about where we kind of open up a bit and have a few different sections to break up the monotony of what we were having. So, yeah, what was I saying? Hit your marks. And I don't play the Supercross side as much because most of the time when I mess up, it's on the dirt or the motocross side, and I just reset, right? I don't even try to get through it. If I get through the motocross part, we get to the Supercross part, have a horrible mess up, I just restart. So the part of the track that I play the least is the Supercross track side because of how long it is. And I don't know if there's a free ride version, so it wasn't like I could go set up a marker and just free ride the Supercross track side. I mean, there's like 4 different versions to this track, and this one is much improved over the previous stuff, but yeah, I mean, I just don't have much time here. Now, here on this section, I feel like it should be a step on, step off, and then whatever. Now, it did give us a favorable reset. The track also does have that problem where it'll reset you like 3 or 4 jumps in front of whatever you were doing. Sometimes it'll move you to the next rhythm lane. So the reset points are a bit odd, and you can get into that infinite loop of crashing if you crash in a certain spot. We already talked about it, where it will reset you on a very steep part of the track over and over and over again, and then you get that infinite loop of never being able to get back on the bike and keep going. So yeah, now the track, what are we at? We're at 8 minutes. Here is where I really thought we're doing bad, and I don't know why, because we haven't had a crash. I don't believe I've ever completed this specific track without having a crash. We always have a crash. I was thinking, we're doing okay. You know, we did pretty decent through the Supercross stuff for not having much time in it. The motocross side of the track, we had a few bobbles, but for the most part, we did okay. And then we hit this double. And I remember this. I know we're getting very close to the end. If we hit that weird double, that's very easy to overjump. We hit a couple rhythm sections here. Pretty similar. We do get a case here. I just didn't, I don't know. That was on me. We hit the corner decent enough. I kind of let off. We should have hit that better. Missed a few seconds. But see what I'm saying? This is where those tiny stuff like that was a second. We probably missed a second on that section where I cased. We probably missed a section here by not getting a clean triple out. And then we have this table. All those seconds add up, right? And that's pretty much what we needed to be sub 10 minutes. So it was a bummer. If I tried a bit more, probably could do it, but like I said, we just didn't have the time. So the track is awesome. We do not break the 10-minute lap time. It would have been weird to call it the 9-minute and 55-second lap time track. Probably would have just rounded up at that point. But yeah, this is good stuff. I wish we could have done under 10 minutes, but tough track, really tough track, especially to try and memorize. And then we really butcher the end of the track here. This was really bad and probably lost a few seconds here. So we turn a 10-minute 07. excuse me, I believe 10:07 lap time track. Pretty decent, but could be better. So let me know in the comments if you guys have played this track. If you know a track that is longer than this one, I'd be really curious to see about that. But you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately. It really does mean a lot. And until the next video, take it easy.